Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with another Total War Attila tournament match cast. This is going to be the unit band final Attila tournament. And it is a best of 3 between Silverwind of Wolf Clan and Orgetorix of Agartha. And in this first game we have Silverwind in command of the Franks and Orgetorix as the Sassanid player. Now, some interesting rules of this tournament hosted by Blademaster. We have, well, let me put it in slow motion a little bit. So, in the first game, Germanic Hurlers and Persian Brigades are banned from both factions. And that's the thing about this tournament. You can ban units from your opponent's army per game. So, that's a pretty interesting turnaround, but I find it quite funny that Germanic Hurlers and Persian Brigades were banned. Very interesting choice indeed. But anyway, let's go over the Frankish build here of Silverwind. He has Frankish General Silver 2 with Brace. Then he has, looks like, a lot of these Instrucciones Cavalry Guard, I believe 4 of them, and 2 Scara Francisca. Personally, Scara Francisca, I think they have extra bonus versus Cav, so I would bring them instead. Then we see, let's see, how many Germanic bows? A lot of Germanic bows, 3, 4, 5 Germanic bows. And in terms of the infantry contingent, it's a pretty good one. So we have 2 Royal Instrucciones in the center, bronze 1. On the left we have, looks like a Freeman bronze 1 with 2 Noble Germanics bronze 1. Now on the right we have a Freeman bronze 1 with 2 Noble Germanics bronze 1. So that is the entire Frankish build here. As for the Sassanids, though, I almost said Persians, we have the Savrin Sardar bronze 1 general with, as you can see here, it's pretty much work right, because he has scare and work right, so he can just, it's pretty amazing that he has that ability. He can do multiple things. Anyway, for the Cav, we have a lot of Pushtigbans, actually. 3, no. It's 1, 2 Pushtigbans, and make that 4 Pushtigbans and 2 Griff Bombards. Then we have a bunch of skirmishers, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3 Armenian slingers and a single Persian hurler unit. Then we have on the right flank a Dalamite warrior with a Sogdian warrior. In the center, 2 Dalamite warriors, and they are both bronze 1. And on the left, Sogdian warrior with a Dalamite warrior bronze 1. So that is the composition. With Sassanids, let's fast forward a little bit. And as you can see here, Germanic Bug's going a little bit far out, but looks like they are going to get the first volley off onto these hurlers. It's actually 2, oh, my bad, it's 2 Persian hurlers and 3 Armenian slingers, my bad. Here, as you can see, the Griff Bombards are coming in, and it looks like they're gonna be able to maybe get out. Yeah, they're going to just disengage immediately here. No, they are not. Looks like they get caught, but I don't know why the Scar Francisca did not engage this Griff Bombard, because they could have engaged the Griff Bombard here, for sure. And then with some infantry follow-up, this would have been a very good engagement for the Franks, but it ended up being a pretty bad one. Oh, they're gonna get a Cav charge off onto the rear of this Griff Bombard, which is good. As you can see, the Griff Bombard is losing a lot of men, and very rapidly, actually. And now the Germanic bow is gonna target it, so this is very good for the Franks. And they're gonna get another Cav charge off here with the Instrucciones if they pull back. It's going to be 2 Cav against 1, but this unit has a move order. No, it looks like it is going to be 2 against 1, so double charges against this unit. This unit is going to fall rapidly. However, if the engagement starts very quickly, then these 2 cavalry units will be here still fighting that Griff Bombard, but I think this is good for the Franks. But here, this is a very bad move with the Scara Francisca. They're getting destroyed by Pushtigbans here. The Armenian slingers did so much damage to the Scar Francisca. This is potentially not a good fight again for, yeah. I don't like these engagements for the Franks. I did like this one. And now this Griff Bombard are going to go down, but this was a definite mistake with that Scara. Here, this engagement, Pushtigban is gonna win against Anstriciones, especially with Sogdian warrior support. Here, the infantry support for the Franks is not really the greatest. Here, as you can see, the Griff Bombard is going down pretty nicely. This Pushtigban gonna get engaged soon. The Scar Francisca did really well against Pushtigban actually here, as you can see. And the Royal Anstriciones are in the engagement, and they're gonna do fairly well against all these units here, so that's a good engagement for the Franks. Here though we have the Sogdians, which are not gonna get charged actually, or they are gonna get charged, but not the best charge as the unit is slowed down. At the moment, as you can see, the left flank Anstriciones is getting destroyed by Pushtigbans. Now Sogdian warriors coming in to get rid of those units. Here we're gonna see a Pushtigban cataphract charge right into these Royal Anstriciones. Should do a lot of damage even if it's slowed down. As you can see, the Royal Anstriciones just dropping down hugely in numbers. And that is very, very bad for the Franks, just losing all those units, that is. On the left flank, as you can see here, these freemen are fighting against the Daylamites, but they're not going to do well. Noble Germanics here. I don't know why this Pushtigban isn't pulled out, though, at this point. As you can see, the Frankish general doing some damage, but he's taking a lot as well. He's getting focused by all these Armenian slingers, and that's a lot of damage onto the Frankish general. Wow. Here we're gonna see the Persian hurlers charging into the Noble Germanic swordsmen, doing a lot of damage here. Well, just not doing damage, but just holding these Noble Germanics off so they can't come in to support the fight. This is a very good move with those Persian hurlers. Here the Frankish general is getting chased off the field by this Pushtigban cataphract. It could be huge if he dies. Here though, as you can see, the Franks are doing very well, and just look at the Frankish general still getting chased off by the Pushtigban, but at this point, I think the Pushtigban should just go and charge into the rear of these units or something. Because the general is far away, so why not? Anyway, as you can see here, the main melee fight, the Savran Sardar are going to trade pretty well here against all these units. Though the melee contingent, as you can see, the Armenian Slingers coming into the fight as a buffer. After that, the Savran Sardar maybe can pull out. We see the Pushtigbans pulling out over here. This fight, the Noble Germanics are actually tanking out pretty well in this fight, and looks like they're gonna be able. These two units are gonna be able to win that flank for the Franks, especially as this Anstriciones cavalry guard does come back. But the problem for the Franks is the right flank, as you can see here, because there's still Pushtigbans on the field. Looks like they're gonna come back, but that was a lot of time wasted for this Pushtigban chasing this general, which it was never gonna kill. And the Pushtigban is very useful, so rear charging would have been much better in my opinion. Goodbye Anstriciones cavalry guard, I guess. The Pushtigban here is just going to destroy it without taking too many losses. As you can see here, it does lose a couple of men, but the Anstriciones is going to die. So that's a good engagement for the Sassanids. Now this Pushtigban pulled out, but it is going to be able to get some pretty nice cav charges off into this Noble Germanic here. But it's a Noble Germanic, so it's not going to take as much damage from the charge, especially as the Pushtigban has lost a lot of men. We're gonna see another rear charge here. That is very important, and at this point it looks like all these units for the Franks should just start chain routing soon. And as you can see here, this Pushtigban cataphract charge is going to end all these units. They're starting to waver and rout right now. This Noble Germanic is still holding out, but it's soon not going to hold out for much longer. Here come the Sogdians. They're going into these Noble Germanic swordsmen, and let's zoom in. Noble Germanic swordsmen going to rout off the field because they do not like fighting here. Look at the Sogdians just... Oh, that cav charge. He got lanced in the face. More of these lances into these Noble Germanic swordsmen. Let's see if this guy dies. Is he going to die? Is he going to? He's fighting. Oh, he's... Oh, he did die. Wow. That was one kill animation. One decapitation with the mace. Very, very interesting. So here, as you can see, it's basically over. The Sassanids have a pretty big advantage. And my game is lagging a lot with all these bodies over here. Bodies cause a huge FPS drop, I think. That's a big problem. Just so many bodies here on the ground killing my FPS, I guess. But they do look pretty good. Anyway, over here it's the last few units for the Franks, and looks like they're gonna all rout, and it's going to be game very soon. Oh, the general refuses to rout off the field, but he's gonna go down soon, and there goes the game. So First game does go to Orgetorix. He wins against Franks. Let's look at the stats here. So Noble Germanic's doing better than I expected. The Freemen are pretty effective at supporting Cav. But the cavalry of the Franks just, especially the Instrucciones, just don't compare to the Sassanid Cav, the Pushtigbans or Griff Bombars. Well, Griff Bombars they actually are okay against, but against Pushtigbans, good luck with that. But yeah, both players made some mistakes in the beginning with their Cav, lost a lot of their Cav. Unnecessarily, I think. Especially the Franks here, Silverwind, that is. But as you can see here, the Sogdians did a pretty decent job, and I did like the skirmish contingent for the Sassanids. They did a lot of damage here, especially to the general of the Franks, which unfortunately they couldn't kill, but they still kept him away from the fight and destroyed a lot of Cav, of course. But anyway, that is game 1. I shall see you in game number 2. This is game 2 of the match between Orgetorix and Silverwind. Match point for Orgetorix, that is, this is a best of 3 and he won the first game. And in this game we have Orgetorix in command of the Ostrogoths and Silverwind as Saxons. Ostrogoths? No, not Ostrogoths, I mean Eastern Romans. What am I saying? Clearly that is not the Ostrogoths faction icon. I just looked at the top right, the name, and it started with Oster, and I thought, okay, it's Ostrogoths. I didn't look at anything else. But yeah, that's not Ostrogoths. Anyway, it's Eastern Romans. Time to look at the compositions here. So we have for Silverwind, who is the Saxons. Let's see, where is his general? Where is the general? I do not see the general. I do not see the general. There it is. We have Nordic Warlord with this ability over here, Warcry. Then we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bronze 2 Nordic Horse Lords. Obviously a very good choice. In terms of infantry, let's see, we have a lot of these Nordic Hurlers. 1, 2, 3, 4 Nordic Hurlers. And let's see what else. We have some Chosen Warriors. 2 on the right flank, Bronze 1, and then some Hearth Guards, I believe. 1, 2, 3 Hearth Guards, Bronze 1 in the center. And then on the left flank we have 2 Chosen Warriors. 1 Bronze 1, 1 Bronze 2, and this Nordic Brigade. So for the Saxons, what is banned is actually Nordic Axe Warriors. And normally you'd be like, but why are there no Nordic Axe Warriors? Well, that is the reason why there are no Nordic Axes. Because they are banned. Now because normally we're like, wow, this build looks terrible. Well, because he can't use axes. That is why. Anyway, for the Eastern Romans, let's see what they have. And by the way, Eastern Romans have their Heterea Guard banned. Now let's go over the compositions. Orgetorix, he has a Magister Militum with Brace. Other than that, let's see, a bunch of these cavalry units. 3 Equites Bermodi on the left with 3 Tagmata Cav on the right. Very interesting. Then he does have this Equites Sagittari unit, the Skirmish Cav. Could do very well for rear charges and whatnot, could be very annoying. Then in terms of skirmishers, we see 4 of these Funditores up front. We have a lot of Protectores Domestici, well not a lot, but just 2 on the left and 1 on the right. In terms of the offensive units, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Eastern Armored Legio. So that would be the composition for the East Romans, because no Hetereas and no Nordic Axe Warriors. However, I do like the position of the Saxons because of Nordic Horse Lords and Chosen Warriors. Chosen Warriors are actually quite strong units. They're not exactly axemen, but they are quite strong in melee themselves. So, I mean, we will see how this one is going to play out soon enough. Going to fast forward a little bit. As you can see, it is going to take some time. Probably going to be a lot of skirmishing. And this Nordic Brigade over here. Oh, did I notice the Nordic Brigade? There's 1 on each flank. Don't know if I mentioned it. Looks like bronze 2 on the right flank though. Oh, there is an engagement over here. Looks like the Ectus Sagittari charged into the brigade and then pulled out. One has to wonder if this is a good engagement though, because this Ectus Sagittari is losing a lot of men right now. It's actually lost about half the unit, so I'd say that engagement is not effective at all. Though they did use a lot of javelins and they could kill off this brigade, but I don't think the engagement's good at all. Getting some nice shots off now, hitting some of the Nordic Horse Lords, which is always good, but I don't think it's worth it still. But the Nordic Horse Lord has to pull back this way because it's getting chased. It's getting chased. Okay, that's good. The Ectus Promoti are not going to go in for them. The thing about Ectus Promoti though is that, as you can see here, they don't have as much armor or health as heavy units, and they're not as good in melee as something like Noble Lani Cavalry, but they have these javelins, which can be very annoying for enemies to deal with. But here we have the hurlers. Looks like one of them is going to target the Funditoris, some of them targeting Funditoris, others targeting Ectus Promoti. This unit should be targeting this unit, should be focusing on a single Funditoris here. I think we should have this unit focused by these two Funditoris. Not Funditoris, but hurlers, and then this unit focused by these two hurlers. So a little bit of a suboptimal engagement, I guess, in terms of skirmishing. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because the skirmish fight, both players will just neutralize each other's hurlers, and whoever wins anyway will not have much ammo left at the end of the day to do anything. But let's see, this Nordic Brigade here is getting shot at by Ectus Sagittari. Still a lot of skirmishing going on, so let me just fast forward this as quickly as I can. Because, yeah. Funditoris here, they're doing very well, and they should be, because the Funditoris, even though they don't have as much armor, they have just 2 more health, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is that they have extra, they have that precision shot ability, so they can fire very quickly at the hurlers. But as you can see, not fire very quickly, but they can do a lot of damage while firing. And as you can see, both players are just gonna get their units neutralized in melee. Here we're gonna have a cav engagement, the Ectus Promoti engaging against Horse Lords, which is not great for the Ectus Promoti. Another engagement over here, Horse Lords engaging Ectus Promoti. This is very good for the Saxons, obviously. And here comes an engagement in the center. This Eastern Armored Legio is here to defend the flank. Thing about Saxons is that they're totally out of position with their left flank. That is one thing to mention. And this Horse Lord unit is not going to get the best cav charge off into this Eastern Armored Legio. So that is pretty bad for the Saxons. But this blob over here could go pretty well for the Saxons, though. Chosen Warriors do quite well in this blob, but they're gonna... There is no infantry support here, and this Horse Lord going to die to 2 Ectus Promoti. So that's pretty bad for the unit. But the Ectus Promoti just wavering right now. Headhunt activated prematurely, I think. This Nordic Brigade here could go around. Nordic Horse Lord still on the field. Eastern Armored Legio have used up all their ammo, but this Hearthguard is just stopping the charge of this Horse Lord. So that was pretty bad. But here the Nordic Warlord of the Saxons is engaging into the fight before the Chosen Warriors, so that's not great. He could take a lot of damage. More Horse Lords coming around though, and as you can see here, this Eastern Armored Legio took some damage on the charge, but the Hearthguards are not going to do great here. These Eastern Armored Legio taking a lot of damage on the charge as well, but they're going to be able to win in the prolonged melee, so I don't think this is a good engagement for the Saxons though, honestly. That's not the great one, I would say, but... Here, as you can see, this Horse Lord catching both of these units is great, but there's just more cav left on this side for the Romans. They're gonna... Looks like the Saxons did very well here, though, but the blobs are not looking great. A very nice engagement here, Chosen Warriors frenzying into the fight against Tagmaras, so the Nordic Brigade did what they needed to do, which is fight off the Tagmaras, but here comes another Protectoris Domestici unit into the fight soon. And they're just gonna charge in straight into this Chosen Warrior. On this side though, as you can see, the Horse Lord's nicely done using Headhunt, but there's this Ectus Sagittari left on the field, which could just continuously rear charge units and do a lot of damage to them. Here this Ectus Promoti routed off the field to this Nordic Horse Lord. This Nordic Horse Lord being insane right now. Here, as you can see, this Chosen Warrior is still gonna be able to do very well against these units, especially with some support here in the fight by Nordic brigades. Now this Tagmata cannot pull out. Here in the center, though, as you can see, these Eastern Armor Legio not looking great against the Hearth Guards and these Chosen Warriors. This Equites Sagittari going to die very soon. There's still some cav left on the field for the Romans, though, and this Horse Lord gonna get into the Magister Militum, which could be huge. There are some hurlers doing some weird things on the flanks and such, but there is a huge grind out fight here, and actually I don't like this engagement here. The Nordic Warlord is going to die sooner or later, that's not good, and this Nordic Horse Lord going to die as well to the general of the Eastern Romans and this Equites Promoti. There's still another Tagmata cavalry left on the field for the Eastern Romans, and here we have looks like Tagmata and Eastern Armor Legio breaking through, as you would expect against the Horse Lords here. So there's not enough infantry support in some areas for the Saxons. It's just cav against infantry and cavs in some places, and that's not great. But this Tagmata looks like it's gonna get a rear charge, and it's just going to die at the end of the day after that rear charge. But still some Chosen Warriors here in Nordic Horse Lords gonna go for these Protectores Domestici. As you can see, this side obviously going to the Saxons because Eastern Armor Legio, no hope against the Chosen Warriors, honestly. Here, as you can see, the Protectores Domestici just dying to these Chosen Warrior, the Chosen Warriors dying to the Tagmata cav charges. There's still cav left on the field for the Eastern Romans, so that is pretty important right now. Still Equites Promoti on the field. This is huge here because this rear charge could kill off these warlords, and even though Saxons are overall winning the melee fight, this cavalry charge could just be very massive. Looks like the Nordic Warlord is going to be in a lot of trouble. If the Warlord was around here, I think the Saxons would have a very good shot at winning this, but right now with the Warlord dying like this, it's not looking great. And I mean, these are still Protectores Domestici, so they are going to lose to these Chosen Warriors, but the Chosen Warriors are going to start dropping as well due to Tagmata charges. So this is actually pretty close, but the Nordic Warlord does rout off the field. However, he's not dead, so that is an important thing to mention. Equites Promoti, still a lot of cav left on the field, and a lot of units just wavering right now. Hurler is going to engage here so that the enemy units cannot disengage easily. This Eastern Armor Legio broke through the Hearth Guards, however these Eastern Romans are routing off the field right now. And still some Hearth Guards left on the field here, which if they supported, they could do a lot of work here. And the general of the Eastern Romans is almost at half strength. This Protectores Domestici going to engage here, but the Chosen Warriors going to do very well here. These Eastern Armor Legio going to probably kill off this Chosen Warrior, potentially. Actually, no, I don't think so. But it is very close right now, and this rear cav charge into the Hearth Guard not going to do a lot, actually. And now these units are going to be stuck. If they pull out, they're going to lose a lot of men. This cav charge, though, is going to be better, though. It's a rear cav charge into these Hearth Guard, and this could rout off the portion of the Saxons here. It could be very important because they can't. It's going to be hard for them to rout this side with a Hearth Guard and Chosen Warrior. But Chosen Warrior holding off very well here, and here this Eastern Armor Legio is going to die to both of these Chosen Warriors. This Hearth Guard gonna go down soon. As you can see, the other Hearth Guard routed, and that is a huge part in the battle. This Hearth Guard still left on the field, and somehow the Tagmata Cavalry and the Magister Militum also on the field. This Chosen Warrior refuses to rout, but this unit just holding off all of these Saxons here too. And here come these Chosen Warriors. They're just doing so well against these Eastern Armor Legio. I mean, the Eastern Armor Legio actually are doing better, I mean, because they're holding off very nicely. And here this Protectores Domestici is almost routing, but it does not rout because of... It looks like it's doing quite well here. And, oh, still the Tagmata Cavalry left on the field, gonna go for a rear charge onto this Hearth Guard. And I think right now it's looking really good for the Eastern Romans. Rear cav charge into this Hearth Guard, and this Magister Militum still left on the field, going to come around and hit the rear of this Hearth Guard. And it should be game very, very soon. As you can see, this rear charge into this Hearth Guard. And on this side, the Chosen Warriors still are unable to kill off this Eastern Armor Legio. They're going to be able to kill them off soon, but at this point, it's just basically over. Yes, it dies, but... unless somehow the Magister Militum dies, I don't think that the Saxons can win still. Because maybe if these two Chosen Warriors were actually full, I would give the win to Saxons, probably, if they were full units, because all these units are battered, except for this Orgetorix Domestici. So, yeah, it's going to be very... I mean, this is a very close game, but unfortunately for the Saxons, I don't think they're gonna win this, even though it was very, very close, actually. There's so much lag, because even more bodies than the last replay. Just look at all the bodies on the ground. So many Saxons dead, so many Romans dead. This was a bloody battle, for sure. Just look at all the men on the ground and horses as well, as you can see here. But Chosen Warriors running away here. It looks like they're trying to get a superior position on this hill, but... Or trying to get the enemy general. I think that's what they want to do here, get the Magister Militum, but they're not going to have much luck here. So we'll see. There's 1 minute left. If the Chosen Warriors are able to brace and go into shield wall, could go perhaps very well. But that is not the case. And now it looks like the engagement has started. Chosen Warriors are using Frenzy though, which is gonna boost their capabilities against Orgetorix Domestici. However, this 2 charges onto this single Chosen Warrior could break them. Looks like they connect with both Chosen Warriors though, and that is massive. And this General Magister Militum coming in for a calf charge into these Chosen Warriors, and it is gonna be huge. Magister Militum going to start dropping soon, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think there are just too many Romans left on the field. More Orgetorix Domestici engaging. This Eastern Armored Legio is also engaging into the fight, and it's going to be game. The Romans have done it. And with that, Orgetorix wins this match, and he wins the final of the Unit Ban Invitational. Congratulations to Orgetorix for winning this tournament. He had a pretty interesting run throughout the tournament. He beat, let's see, he beat Gojira of VOD in the first round. Then next round he defeated BX Baracus. And in semi-final, surprisingly, he defeated JJ of Wolfclan. I mean, surprisingly, because he didn't have to face Balor of Agartha. Instead, he faced JJ. Apparently, JJ defeated Balor 2-0, and I don't know how that was possible, but that was... I mean, JJ defeated Balor 2-0. So I don't know how Balor lost that match, but very impressive by JJ though. Still, Orgetorix managed to defeat him. He won this whole tournament without dropping a single game. So 2-0 against Gojira, 2-0 against BX Baracus, 2-0 against JJ, and now 2-0 against Silverwind in the finals. So once again, congratulations to Orgetorix, and hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, share the video, and I'll see you next time.